McGlynn is in. I repeat, McGlynn is in. Let the fun begin. This is the Commissioner Evaluation Podcast with your host, John McGlynn.
Was that Herms?
He got them guests on the Rolodex, stopping by to talk about some Dynasty Superflex. Everybody, yo, commish is in. It's time to sit down to listen to John McGlynn. Yo, who we trading, who we fading, who we getting off the squad. Knowledge never overrated, playing for number one. And yo, McGlynn is in. It's time to let the fun begin. It's the Commissioner Evaluation Podcast with John McGlynn.
Yo, thanks for joining the Commissioner Evaluation Show. This is just a recap of one individual league. It's the Brainiacs League. So week one is in the books, and what a week it was. As always, injuries are the name of the game. First of all, let's recap week one division playoff. It's just a win, loss, or tie matchup with a fun wrinkle to add a third game as division tiebreaker if necessary. Your starting lineup against your other two division opponents was really all that mattered. I pinned the highest scorer and the lowest scorer against each other manually in the settings, and I also assigned a tie for the four division owners who scored lower than the higher division but higher than the lower division scorer. So there's four divisions, 4 people got a W, 4 people got an L, and 4 people got a tie. It still counts as a regular season game, but will only really be important if you tie on one of your division opponents for a playoff spot. Remember, the 2 wild cards are the teams with the highest points for, not max points for, that did not win in their division. Having lower max points for gets you more chance at lottery balls in the rookie draft, which really only matters if you picked 1 through 6 in the rookie draft. All the points that were manipulated by me are documented and will be pinned to the message board for clarity and possible playoff seedings at the conclusion of the regular season. Quick recap of week one. I somehow avoided a loss in my quest for the most lottery draft balls. Chris Olave was the only person on my team that did anything, including my bench. Team's terrible, but I won somehow. Buddha starters were also having a lazy week as Travis Etienne and Amon-Ra St. Brown were the only players that met their expectations. His bench wasn't much better, minus Roshan Johnson and Kendrick Bourne. Tutu Atwell's a nice surprise for his team. He's going to need some help, though. A huge day out of Tyreek Hill may have saved the day for Fighter of the Nightmare. Losing J.K. Dobbins probably stings, and having Andrews on the bench was subpar too, but his whole team underperformed besides that. Gandalf the Grey had a decent day from Austin Eckler and Aaron Jones. But other than that, literally, Jacoby Myers on his bench was the only other bright spot for him. Steven Johnson had Mac Jones, Nick Chubb, and Zay Flowers help him out to a tie, but Algier on his bench was the only other bright spot. So let's manage to tie Steven with step-up performances by Brandon Ayuk, Jordan Love. Hunter Henry on his bench looked good, but I'd be happy with a tie if I was Jacob. Section 700 has a team full of superstars that played like super shit. Michael Pittman and Hayden Hurst were the only bright spots on the bench. Also, rough week for Sidlow. Conrad had a debut of Bijan Robinson and a return of Calvin Ridley to spark this week's W. He didn't need much, and he didn't get much either. Bench was not spectacular either, but a win is a win. A win is a win for P-Win, who had another major blow losing Aaron Rodgers for the season. Diggs played well. Stafford looked good again, but getting a W with all this bad luck, P-Win, I don't know how you do it with I don't know how you continue with fantasy football with all the bad luck you got. You got fantasy guys are treating you to something this year. Teams Leverwich took an ugly L with 90 points. But with young players on the rebuild team, we expected this. Keep building, buddy. The week's low scorer, Kyle, had Drake London type week for real with only 81 points. It's not a standard league, Kyle, but your scoring was pretty much like a standard league scoring. 81 points is terrible. League champ Brian had some big performances by Tua, Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, but he didn't need much to beat Kyle. Puka Nacua was the bright spot on this pretty much empty bench. I asked Brian to rank the league for me for the 2023 season because he did not agree with my ranking. So he gave himself the top spot, Vince, Sidlow, Paul, Roach, Conrad, Buddha, myself, Leverwich, Schlitz, Steven Roto, and Kyle August pulling up the rear as his rankings. So there we go. Little recap of week 1, just kind of giving everybody a heads up. Where we stand right now is Fighter Nightmare is 1-0. Schlitz has a tie, as is 0-1. Gandalf the Gray is 0-1. Conrad is 1-0. Steven Roto is 0-1. Section 007 is 0-1. Second tier per John is 1-0. Buddha is 0-1. Kyle Fellas is 0-1. Full Rebuild is 1-0. George Jefferson, which is me, I'm moving on up, is 0-1. Steve Leverwich is 90.66 with a L. There we go. Thanks for tuning in. Little recap of the the Brainiacs League. Later.